The Amazon is by no means the safest place in the world. There are toothy piranhas, caiman, powerful anacondas, and creepy parasites, and the river itself is unpredictable. However, there are other dangerous rivers in the world. Some are home to real monsters, some are home to man-eaters, and some are so dirty that even touching the water can be life-threatening. In this episode, I'll show you these rivers that are 100 times more dangerous than the Amazon. But before we start, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's go. I think everyone knows that the Nile River is the largest river on Earth in terms of volume of water, length, and basin area. The Congo River also has the title of the deepest river on the planet. Its maximum depth is 720 feet, which is incredible for a river. But the Congo River is dangerous, not only for this. The river contains dangerous monsters living and settling at the bottom. Perhaps the main of these is the Goliath tigerfish. This is a real river monster that grows over 4.2 feet long and weighs about 110 pounds. In the mouth of this fish, there are 32 teeth resembling fangs, and it doesn't mind to demonstrate them in practice. Goliath tigerfish attack many local animals and aren't afraid to attack even crocodiles, and also pounce on people. In the Congo River, you can't relax for a second. Even in a boat, a person can be in danger because at any moment, a hippo can jump out of the water. These giants are numerous in this region, and they often attack hesitant fishermen, buffalo, and crocodiles. There are other dangerous rivers in Africa, such as the Rusizi. This river in Central Africa is much like other rivers on the mainland. Here you can find many dangerous African animals, for example, hippos or crocodiles. But the main danger of the Rusizi is a particular crocodile named Gustav. This toothy monster is a real living legend of the river because he is a man-eater. The huge crocodile lives on the territory of the country of Burundi, where it has long been frightening the locals. It's believed that during his long life, Gustav has eaten at least 300 people, and someone is sure that Gustav has sent several thousand people to Kingdom Come. In addition, he more often than other crocodiles eats huge animals like buffaloes and hippos. Scientists believe this is because the size of the giant is too large for him to satiate with the standard prey. Needless to say, people have repeatedly tried to catch and eliminate such a dangerous individual, but all operations to catch the crocodile failed. Neither firearms and dynamite nor traps work against Gustav. They leave only minor damage, and the giant himself always escapes from the chase. Thanks to this, the Rusizi River is considered an incredibly dangerous place. Man-eaters can also be found in Asia. The Kali River, which flows through Nepal and India, is home to the goonch catfish. These catfish are very large. The largest are up to 6.5 to 10 feet long and weigh from 170 to 330 pounds. These catfish lack usual prey, so for decades they've preferred to prey on humans and large livestock. Locals assured that the goonch waits for the right moment at the bottom of the river. When it smells something edible, it rises to the surface, grabs the prey, and drags it to the bottom where it eats it so greedily that it leaves not even bones from it. Unfortunately, since the 1990s, there have been several cases of goonch catfish attacking residents. There are several theories as to why this may be happening, and one version seems to be as close to the truth as possible. There's a reason to believe that the catfish's unusual food habit developed because of funeral pyres. After funeral pyres are held, the locals release the remains of dead people into the Kali River, which is eaten by the river dwellers. The goonch fish liked the new diet, and over time these catfish began to eat not only remains, but also live humans. The Paraná River flows in South America. It's the second longest river on the continent after the Amazon River. The river is spacious, wide, and convenient, so it's often used as a channel for navigation, but it can't be called safe. First of all, the river has a strong current. In addition, there are uncontrolled floods. The Paraná River flood means disaster and death for all living things near it. Some of the Paraná River inhabitants are also dangerous. Piranha fish pose the greatest threat. In general, the danger of these fish is often exaggerated. These fish are not capable of killing a human. They're generally afraid of us. On the other hand, they can attack a person, and it was on the Paraná River that a terrible incident occurred. In 2013, more than 70 people were bitten by piranhas on an Argentine beach on the banks of the Paraná River. The Orinoco River in South America is considered one of the most dangerous rivers in our episode today. This river flows mainly through Venezuela. Piranhas can also be found here, but in addition to them, there are other dangerous creatures. For example, the Orinoco crocodile. These are, by the way, some of the rarest crocodiles on the planet, which are now on the verge of extinction. But rare doesn't mean harmless. These giants grow up to 16 to 20 feet in length. They use their size successfully eating very large creatures. Their diet includes caimans, anacondas, capybara, and sometimes an Orinoco crocodile can attack a person. Payara fish are also found on the Orinoco. They're also known as vampire fish. The name is apt because the teeth of these monsters match those of vampires. These monsters are more than 3 feet long and weigh about 44 pounds, which allows them to eat even piranhas. The payara attacks the prey from above, pierces it with its 4-inch-long fangs, and swallows it whole. It's a very creepy creature. Finally, it's in the Orinoco where electric eels are most common. These creatures can shoot charges of electricity up to 860 volts. An electric shock by an adult electric eel can shock a horse, finish off an alligator, or neutralize a human. A person can lose consciousness if an eel electrocutes them, and in the water, this is extremely dangerous. The Ganges is the main river in India. Moreover, it is a sacred river. In Hindu mythology, the Ganges is considered a heavenly river that descended to earth. So Hindus have been making pilgrimages here since ancient times. But no matter what history this river has, it's hard to deny the fact that the Ganges is very dangerous. It's muddy all the time, and the deceased are often cremated, and their ashes are scattered in it. Many locals believe that only through this ritual the deceased can reach eternal liberation. Sometimes, however, the ritual is performed differently, and those who can't afford such a procedure simply dump the bodies into the river. The rituals take place very often, so you can imagine what goes on in the Ganges. All this affects the general sanitary condition of water in the river. At the same time, residents of India bathe in the Ganges, wash clothes there, and even drink water from the river at their own risk. As a result, they very often pick up serious diseases. According to estimates, every year, the Ganges River, in one way or another, takes the lives of 600,000 to 1.5 million people. Imagine a monster so ferocious that even the largest predators of the wild quake in its presence. Meet the giant otter, the largest otter in the world, and one of the deadliest beasts of the Amazon River. With a length of over 6 feet, the giant river otter is a skilled hunter and an apex predator. Very few adversaries are confident enough to even look into its bloodshot eyes. Apart from their brutal personal aggression, these creatures find their strength in numbers. They often live in family groups of up to 20 individuals. Don't be fooled by their cute and cuddly appearance. These beasts sit at the very top of the food chain. With a bite force of 615 psi, giant river otters will take on any prey ranging from large fishes to snakes, crustaceans, and other river creatures. They can kill and maim any unlucky prey that crosses their path. Even humans aren't safe from these cruel beasts, as there have been some cases where these giant otters have dealt unimaginable damage to unsuspecting humans who found themselves at the wrong place at the wrong time. This list just keeps getting crazier and crazier. Meet the green anaconda, another terrifying beast of the Amazon River. With an average weight of up to 550 pounds and a length of 29.7 feet, the green anaconda is the longest, heaviest, and largest snake in the Amazon. The green anaconda maintains this massive size by feeding on a wide variety of dietary options. This includes wild pigs, deer, birds, turtles, capybaras, and even the fearsome caimans. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. And the green anaconda isn't afraid to swallow any prey whole. They're accurately described as non-venomous constrictors, with a feeding technique that's as fascinating as it is terrifying. Picture this: an innocent deer stuck with a green anaconda tightly wound around its body. The echo of bones breaking fills the air as this unlucky prey asphyxiates and takes its last breath. It's a beautiful display of natural violence that exemplifies nature's perfect balance of power and frailty. After brutally squeezing the life out of its prey, the green anaconda then swallows it whole. No matter the size, the green anaconda extends its jaw to bizarre lengths, taking in the whole body of the prey in a single gulp. Picture a centipede capable of hunting down a bat, feeding on large mice, and striking fear in animals 15 times its size. This next beast is the stuff of nightmares. It stands as the biggest and the worst, often revered as the largest centipede species in the world. With an average length of up to 12 inches, it's difficult to counter that claim. As if the size was not disturbing enough, this creepy crawly packs a powerful venom capable of paralyzing prey with just a single strike. Like a perfectly trained stealth hunter, the giant centipedes crawl up the cave walls and ceilings to attack the medium-sized mammals and defeat them, sometimes without a fight. In the wild, the giant centipede boasts a long list of prey. This includes snakes, bats, and other small invertebrates. But what about humans? Should humans be scared of this giant nightmarish being? The short answer is yes. While a bite from the giant centipede may not pose the risk of death, the pain caused by such an encounter can be quite unbearable. This massive, sleek, streamlined fish is known as the arapaima. It has a broad, bony head, an upturned mouth, and a dorsal fin stretching along its back towards its tail. When the rivers overflow, fish can be dispersed into the surrounding Amazon forest where most of the other species die. The arapaima, however, keeps living owing to its unique ability to breathe air. Remarkably, the arapaima can survive up to 24 hours outside the water, a rare feat for any fish species. Growing up to 10 feet and reaching up to 440 pounds in weight, the arapaima is possibly the largest freshwater fish in the world. Its mouth is filled with sharp, bony teeth and extra teeth on the roof of its palate. This allows them to brutally shred their prey into pieces before devouring them. Arapaima also exhibit a peculiar fishing tactic. In order to maximize their catch, they utilize a gulper feeding strategy which involves opening their large mouth to create a vacuum, pulling in every food object nearby. Of the many monstrosities that call the Amazon River home, the South American rattlesnake is one of the most terrifying. Famed as one of the most venomous snakes in the world, this beastly being is the most widely distributed member of its genus. Despite their aggressive nature, though, these rattlesnakes rarely attack humans unprovoked. Bites from the South American rattlesnake often result in impaired vision or even complete blindness. Other resulting symptoms include auditory disorders, ptosis, and paralysis of the peripheral muscles. This especially affects the neck, which can become so limp it even appears broken. In extreme cases, the victims can develop life-threatening respiratory paralysis, which eventually ends in fatality. Once these ocular disturbances set in, they're usually followed by permanent blindness. The sight of a sawfish alone strikes terror of its aquatic neighbors. This is probably due to its long snout, which is edged with special teeth, giving it a menacing appearance. This saw-like snout, known as a rostrum, functions effectively as a hunting tool. With a back-and-forth swiping motion, the sawfish utilizes this snout to cut its victim in half, making it easier to feed on. The saw also features electroreceptors known as ampullae of Lorenzini, capable of detecting electric fields produced by the prey. This way, the sawfish can detect the presence of a delicious delicacy before switching into beast mode. Apart from the hunting function, though, the snout helps to dig through the sediments at the bottom of the Amazon River. The large-toothed sawfish can grow up to a terrifying 18 feet on average, and legend even says they can sometimes reach up to 25 feet. That's all, guys, for today. Which of these rivers would you like to see in person? Please comment below in the comment section to let us know. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your likes and comments encourage me to continue. See you very soon with a new episode.